What's up, everyone? Good morning. It says we are live. How we doing? Welcome to Wednesday Live. Welcome to Home Built Workshop as I slide off my seat. How's everybody doing this fine Wednesday? Hope we're all doing awesome. Welcome to the workshop. Welcome to the program. You may notice I got a little something going on with my throat and my voice and my head and yeah, I don't know what's up with it, but we're going to power through. It's going to be okay. I may cough. I may sneeze. I may take a few extra sips of my coffee, which yes, I have here, but we're going to make it through. How's everybody doing? Let me get the chat up here so we can communicate with each other. How's everybody been? Let's see here. There we go. There's the chat. All right. Let's see. Robert's here. Howdy, people. Hope everyone's doing well, staying healthy. As healthy as we can be, Robert. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. So last week, I don't even think I mentioned it in the live, but I just felt a little something. I don't know. And like yesterday, I don't know. Today I'm all, you know what I'm saying. I'm all just sinus up. Is that even a word? Sam's here. Hello, everyone. Robert says, watch the Casey Liddell. Oops, what have I done here? Hold on, I hit a button. Says, watch the Casey Liddell video. Got a 54 Willys. Body swapped onto a Jeep chassis. The running gear modified with suspension. Looks sweet. Nice. Right on. That'd be super cool. Robin's here. Robin, good morning. How are you? Welcome. Says, hey, Jeff and everyone. Always reminded me that the live show is about to start. Lovely sunny day here. Even daffodils in flower? Whoa. Well, first off, 2 thumbs up to your wife for reminding you of the show. Right on. Daffodils are out. Wow. That's crazy. We got overnight a couple inches of snow. I didn't know we were supposed to get snow. So, yeah, kind of made the roads weren't terrible this morning, but people were driving, well, like they were terrible. I mean, they weren't great. But yeah, I'm glad we left a few minutes early to get over to school because it definitely took us a little extra time, mainly because we got behind everybody going super slow. Robert says they drove at 900 miles from Southern SoCal to his home in Oregon, and the only thing he did, add fuel, tighten up an external mirror, and apply convex mirrors to improve. Wow, that's pretty cool. Robert says, there he is with his smiling face. Yeah. Even with whatever this is. Rick's here. Rick Ash. Right on. Says, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Good, Rick. How you doing? Right on. Good morning. Terry's here. Hello, Jeff. Dasherly Dave. Sup, all. What's up, Dave and Terry? Good morning. Welcome. Sam says, get an air purification unit. Dyson purification unit cleared my bad cold. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It seems like at the end of January almost that's about the only time I get sick. And it's just for a few days of a little something going on. It's not even, well, this year anyway, it's nothing bad. I remember before, I don't remember if it was last year or some year in the more recent past. I got super sick. My daughter's birthday is around that time, and yeah. I remember one time I was so sick trying to make her birthday dinner. Thankfully, that wasn't this year, though. Sam says, set live chat, Jeffafa. I'm already on it, Sam. Thanks for the reminder. It's live chat set. Paul's here. Paul, good morning. Paul says, greetings, everyone. Hope that you're all having a great week. Jeff, you will feel much better if you stop scarfing down all them Girl Scout cookies. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you, Paul, we have so many in the house right now. Pickup day was this past weekend. So the way it works is you have to order, you place like a preliminary order. This is all outside of like if you order online kind of thing. So we have to place a preliminary order, 500 boxes or whatever it is, and then we have to go pick them all up. And we have cases and cases and cases of those things in the house right now. So many cookies, and I have to do my best because if I open them, then we have to buy them. And as much as I like those Girl Scout cookies, you can't buy. Like we have 500 something boxes in the house. It's crazy. Robert says, already finished my pot of coffee for today, mostly. Have one pot a day. It gets me 2 mugs each pot. Right on. Yeah, this is it. I make one pot. Well, I have a 12-cup coffee maker. I make about 10 cups. It gives me a couple cups in the morning, and then a cup for Gina, and this travel mug for me. And we're good. We're good. I used to drink a lot more than that. Like literally like a whole pot I would make myself. That was when I worked in town. And I would take this and then like a giant thermos. It would literally be like the whole pot of coffee. Rick says, I'm good. Right on. Blonde Brownies, what's up, cuz? How you doing? You guys keeping warm? Like, I think you're in like a deep freeze or something over there. Am I mistaken? Hopefully, I hope your shop's nice and warm. How's things going? Right on. Rick says, thanks for cheering me on. You got it, Rick. I'm going to do my best. Robert, my phone weather app said I got a winter mix last night. If we did, it wasn't enough to notice. Interesting. That's funny. Honestly, we may have been forecasted to get some snow. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it. Like I'll look once or twice a week, really. And if it changes, I don't ever notice it. But yeah, it was kind of a nice change, I suppose. I thought it was supposed to be kind of nice and warm yesterday, but the temperature just dropped in the wind. It was kind of crazy. Rick says, get well soon. Thank you, Rick. I don't know if you guys can tell. Can you tell my voice is a little off this morning? And if you can, I'm just going to blame it on the connection speed or something. See what I did there? Paul says, bought a batch from you, then ordered some other ones from a guy at work. Right on. Yeah, buy them all up. We got lots of lemons still. Send Packin says, good morning, folks. And you, Jeff. Good morning, Rick. Rick says, 2 cups for me. Perfect. Paul says, I'm violating the caffeine code of conduct. I have maybe 1 cup in the AM and a cup in the evenings. I would love to have a cup sometimes in the evenings. There's once in a while, like I'll be somewhere and I'll smell a cup of coffee. It's like somebody's made one or something. It's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock and it smells so good. And I'm like, man, there's no way. I can't do it. Sam Nania. By the way, when Girl Scouts were founded, they used to bake their own cookies. Yes, they did. Isn't that crazy? It's pretty cool. And now they have 2 different bakeries that I think are combining into one now at some point. But yeah, it's pretty cool. They used to do it all themselves. Blonde Brownie says, warming up. We're getting up to 15 during the day. No significant snow expected before Friday. We will head to my sister's in about a week and a half. Nice. Right on. Right on. Yeah, it almost seems like winter back there anyway, like winter that we used to have as kids. You'd get snow and it was just cold, and that's what you expected. I heard someone else from that area talking the other day about that same thing. It's like, it feels like when we were kids. Rick says, how's the new welder doing? Have you done any welding lately? I haven't done, not in a little bit, Rick. I did get I ran to Harbor Freight and just bought a cheap welding cart, just to get everything all together on one little cart, I guess. And I messed around with it a little bit at that time, but I haven't really done any welding yet. I got a couple projects in mind that I need to do, and I think I'll be able to use that welder. You guys remember the giant edge sander that I built, where I bought that homemade sander and built it on a stand and did all that let's see, a year ago, I think that was. Remember I 3D printed the dust shroud at the end? I want to redo. I don't need to redo it, but I want to redo that whole dust shroud deal at the end, and I want to make it a little sturdier. And I think metal would probably be a good option. So at some point that's going to hit the list of projects. But I don't know if you've noticed, I've kind of taken a little bit of a step back for the month of January, which actually was kind of nice, really. A little bit. It wasn't 100% intentional, but it was, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I've just been working on this guitar, getting everything worked out. I just did this. I did one more neck yesterday, but we're going to be getting back to project videos here. Probably start filming this week, for not this weekend, but for the following weekend. Getting back to videos and kind of keep everything rolling along. I decided to just take the time and get the designs done for this and all the tests. I probably do a little bit more testing than I really need to, but I want to make sure I get this done on scrap wood first before I move to like good stock. But once the very first project is going to be the series of videos on building this particular guitar, and then we'll get into some other stuff. That dust shroud for the edge sander is one of them, and a whole bunch of other things that I need to get to. So don't worry, Rick, we'll be getting to that. And I'm going to get you an update on this project here real quick too. Sam says, check your PayPal donations, Jeff. Sam, thank you. Look, there's a notification from Sam. Right on, Sam. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate that. Bam. Yeah. Okay. Robert says, our snow, we got a little over a week ago, is finally mostly gone. The big ponds on the edge of town of Stillwater are still frozen over. Nice. Sam Nanya says, yep, 1923. That sounds about right. Thanks for giving me the exact date, because I couldn't really remember that. Sam Packin says, none of the white stuff here on the wet coast yet. Interesting. That's crazy. Sam Nanya says, I'm in Illinois. Snowfall has been okay, but cold. Yeah, it seems it's a little different this year, I think, winter than a lot of past winters. Rick says, cool. Sam says, hi to Sam Nanya. Robert says, my favorite Girl Scout cookies are the Samoas. Yes, I think that's mine too. With the chocolate and the coconut, and I love those. I could eat like boxes of those things until my stomach hurts. They're so good. Sam, Jeff likes rubbing necks. Rick says, I got to practice my soldering before I do any welding. Yeah, I mean, not quite the same, but I got you. I know what you mean. Sam Nanya says, do you have a Discord server? Would be a cool way for subscribers to share woodworking project pictures. You know, I don't. But if my friend Chris Chaos was on here, he'd be saying the same thing, because he has been elbowing me to get a Discord server for a long time. And yeah, I don't have one. But I'm not against it. I just, I don't know. I have no explanation at the moment. No, I don't have one. But maybe. I am taking in the feedback. Sam says, I introduced Sam Nanya to your channel. Oh, right on. Thanks, Sam. It says, Sam Nanya says, my brother is massively into woodworking. I'll send him your link. Right on. Thank you. Yeah, spread the word. Spread the word. Send it to everyone. Your neighbors, friends, family, enemies. No, no, don't spam anyone. But yeah, share it. Share it with anybody you think might enjoy it. We do, if you browse on the channel, all kinds of different projects, not just, like guitars, but all kinds of things. There are certain things that I tend to do more of a deep dive in. We'll do like series of videos and stuff. This is an upcoming one that I'm going to be starting. But yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. Robert says, people from a lot of places are saying that the weather is strange this year. Yeah, it's different. Sam Nenya says, he built me a really mid-century modern inspired desk. It's beautiful. Oh, that's cool. Right on. That's awesome. Hang on, I need a drink. Paul says, see, Jeff, you need more computers so you can service us better. Have an 8x8 office, have 12 computers in it, connect to them using VNC. Come on, you can do it. Well, yeah, it's growing a little bit, Paul. I have, especially now that I've got my TrueNAS box, and then I've got a Proxmox box that's running Pi-hole, a couple other things, and I've got another one that I want to put a second installation of Pi-hole on because I don't want to lose if my first one goes down. You know what I'm saying? That whole redundancy. So since that one is handling all the DNS stuff, if it goes down, then I have no internet and I have to go in and change settings on the router. Yeah, it's a whole deal. And I'm not like a network guy, so I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. But I have several. What else do I need for? What else do I need to run? Robert says, I did my thumbs up already. Has everyone else done the thumbs up? Yes, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, hit the share, like, comment. What else is there? Hype if you feel so inclined. Sam says, Jeff's not on Discord yet. He's just getting used to the concept of YouTube. Well, I mean, you're not wrong, Sam. You're not wrong. I mean, I've only been doing this for what? How many years? Sam Packin says, done, Robert. Right on. Bam. Yes. Thumbs up. Subscribe. All the things. We got to keep the momentum rolling. Especially January. This is just a shameless request, I guess, okay? Especially January in the beginning of the year, everything on YouTube is like way low. So like the more thumbs and shares and hypes and subscribes and all of that, the more the merrier, as they say, and I appreciate all of you for that. Look who's here! Jimmer's here! Says late to the party. That's all right. We saved you a seat. It's good. How's it going, man? Samonia says, I just joined, but if I can, upload it to your community tab if I can. Okay? Paul says, 1 Mac Pro. Oh, wait. Why is there a pop-up? 3 Mac Minis, 1 MacBook Pro, 7 Raspberry Pis. Quite a tangle of wires in my office, because they're all vital to my home network, so no wireless for them. Security. Yeah? That's a lot. I don't do Mac, but yeah, I know what you mean. Mine are all, well, I was going to say Windows, but they're not all Windows. They're just not Mac, I guess. Let's see. So, updates. I got updates on this guitar build. So last week I had this, no. Yes, I did. I had this one to show you. Updates on the guitar build. So this one here, ow. As I was testing everything, I made one little adjustment to this end of the neck here so that you have better access to the truss rod slot. And that is this neck. Like I lengthened this a little bit so that you can get in there with the Allen wrench. So that is a new neck. I got to do one more body, but I got a notification that the bridges shipped that I'm going to use for this. So I'm waiting for those bridges to come in because I want to do some preliminary measurements to see if I need to make any adjustments to this. Then I'm going to cut one more body to test everything. And then I think we're going to be ready to go. But I want some feedback from all of you as to what, if you have any particular ideas, well, not, or I guess it's more your opinions. If you look at the pickups on here, I've got them, normal humbuckers over here, which I kind of think I might just go with that. But if you keep in mind that the bridge is literally going to be at an angle, okay? I've got this at an angle. I've got everything's at an angle. The frets are going to be angled in kind of this fan manner. If you look at a lot of these, if you look at multi-scale guitars online, some also have the pickups angled, right? Some will use a kind of a soap bar style, blade style pickup. Actually, I think you use one for like a 7-string. That way it's longer, and then you can turn it, and that just keeps the angle. I don't know if there's a big deal or a big reason to do that, but I'm kind of going back and forth on should I just keep them straight across, which I think looks fine, especially since I've kind of went straight across with this heel right here. It kind of keeps everything lined up right there. But if you disregard that, then it's at an angle. What do you guys think? Should I also angle the pickups? The downside of angling the pickups is I'm not reading comments yet. I'm kind of want to finish all of my thoughts. The downside of that is the pickups are more expensive because I'm going from a regular 6-string pickup. Now I got to go with a 7-string pickup, or I got to have custom pickups made, like from bare knuckle or something, with a custom angled base plate. Now you can do angled pickups from bare knuckle for a small upcharge, but it's a set at 10-degree angle, which I think would work fine. They're way more expensive, but I'm thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking I want to go with regular 6-string pickups to kind of keep the cost down, because this is going to be, I'm going to be pretty well into the costs anyway by the time we get this done. I mean, just the bridge alone is kind of pricey. But I don't know. Just what do you guys think? I think it would look fine straight across. But I don't know. I mean, if you take a minute, open another tab, and maybe do a search for multi-scale guitars, you'll find some with angled, and you'll find some with straight. All from the major manufacturers too. So it's not like just one-off ones. And I don't think either one looks weird. They all have an angled bridge, and they all have the multi-scale frets. But just look at the way they have the pickups laid out and let me know what you think. Because I think I could go, I'd be okay with it either way. Part of me wants to angle them, but that does increase the cost a fair bit. So I don't know. What do you think? I want to hear your feedback on that. All right. Robert says a computer rack system would be more efficient. Yeah, maybe so. Robert says good deal. Sempak and Rick says you must have a stack of disposable wood for tests. Yes. I have a bundle of it. Actually, it's almost gone now. A while back, I got this giant figured log. It was, I believe, cottonwood. Giant figured cottonwood log. And I had all kinds of plans to use it for, stuff like this, building actual instruments and stuff from. But the wood is so cracked and spalted in spots and worm infested. This right here is probably, well, there's a crack right there. Chips. There's like little spalted, rotten spots right there. This is probably one of the best bad pieces. But yeah, I had a whole bunch of that stuff, and I was so excited to be able to use it to make a bunch of projects until I actually got it cut and it started to dry and it split and cracked and warped, and I found out how much it was really bad. So I've been using it as much as it kind of hurts me. It pains me to use, some pretty nice looking figured wood for scrap, but it's really not that great for much of anything. I mean, look at this. This is that wood this is the fretboard. It's cracked, split, spalted, warped, rotted. There's plenty of good spots, but there's not enough good spots to where it's worth really doing anything with, at least as far as I'm concerned. So rather than wasting good material or having to go buy some stuff, I'm just using it for test stuff. I did the same thing when I built the subtonic bass last year. I used so much of this, and I'm doing it again this time because I'd rather, if I'm going to ruin a piece, I want to ruin this while I'm testing. I don't want to, when I throw a piece of mahogany or a piece of walnut or something else in there to make the body out of, I don't want to risk. I mean, there's still a chance that I may, make a mistake, but I want to try to work out my process and everything on this stuff first. So yeah, I had quite a bit. I'm almost out, but I got enough, I think, to get through this project, and then I'm going to have to figure out something else. Sam Packet said, is that a set neck? No, it is not. It's going to be bolt on, just your normal, neck grommets for that. Sam says, are you holding a steel ruler or a steel rule? This is, I forget which one is which. Which one is flat at the end? Is it the rule? The rule doesn't have the space, and a ruler does. I can't remember, but Paul says, just remember to angle it the wrong way so it's right for a lefty. Yes, it would go this way, because the very first one's going to be a left-handed one. That way, I get to live with any defects or or stuff that maybe didn't come out right. But yeah, I'm going to do a lefty one first. I'm probably going to do two. So then once I get all of the, what was that? Once I get all the tool paths worked out, then I mirror everything and I just cut out a righty. It's actually really simple once everything's done. Paul says, nothing wrong with that wood that a little epoxy wouldn't fix. True. And I've thought about that too, but if I could do it with a decent piece of material, I kind of want to go that route. Sam says, YouTube, go make yourself useful. Send me the links from the site similar to YouTube, but beginning with red. What? Stop deleting my comments. Jimmer says, off topic, Snap-on Tools came to the shop after I inquired about buying a new toolbox, said I could trade mine in, but after they seen mine, they made an offer to buy it. That's awesome. Yeah, so Jim is got a pretty extensive collection or setup, working in a busy automotive shop. Yeah, got an offer for Snap-on to buy his toolbox. He says, any guesses? What did Snap-on offer? You guys, if any of you are familiar with Snap-on, you probably, well, honestly, I wouldn't have guessed that high because I just don't know what the Snap-on stuff costs, but it's pretty incredible. Robert says, once you use the last of the disposable wood, you may need to find some beetle kill pine or something for test cuts. Yes, I got some of that too. I've got a little bit of that. That stuff I think I might save for some bodies, the ones that I do have, but I do have there's a ton of that stuff here. In my area, a lot of ponderosa pine. I can get a lot of that stuff. That won't be a problem, and that might be what I use. You just got to watch out you don't find a whole bunch of sap filled stuff. Some of that stuff can be kind of sappy. Sappy? Hey, McCall says, hey. What's going on? Sam says, snap-on tools are better than snapped-off tools. Yeah, that's true. Sent back in says, I used some beetle kill for a Les Paul build. Yeah, that's cool. So anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on the pickups? Have you had a chance to like go look in a different and see what you think? I'm still leaning towards going straight across, but I don't know. Part of me says leave it this way, keep the cost down just a little bit. But if you angle it, I'm almost thinking I'm already kind of going what I feel all out on this, so maybe I should. I don't know. But I was pretty excited that I got the notice that the bridge shipped, which is cool. I didn't know when to expect it. My everything else I think shipped, so we're getting really close to being able to start working on this. Sam says Jeff B signed the British. Sorry. Oh, Rick says I said straight. I didn't see that. Did I see that? Did I miss that, Rick? Sorry if I missed it. I didn't. I honestly I don't see it, Rick. It's not here. It's literally not here. You asked if it was a set neck, stack of disposable wood. Wherever it came a call. Yeah, it's not there, Rick. It's not on my side. Robert says, yeah, but it might be easier to find for cheap in the area. Yeah, I think it would be. Jimmer says, new box, retail $45,000. Offered to buy mine for $28,000. After some rebates, new box would cost me $10,000. That is insane, dude. That's wild. $45,000. That's like a car. That's like a really nice car, used car. But Sam Nanya says, "Do you sell the guitars?" Yes, I do. I have guitars listed for sale on my website, haleyguitars.com. But yeah, I build them. One, I build for me. Like I want this particular guitar, but I'm going to also build one for sale. So I'm building two at the same time, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I do. Robin says, I vote for pickups at the same angle as the frets. So angled pickups. Okay. I'm not against that. I'm not against that at all. Robert says, part of me feels the pickups should be angled, but the straight pickups would be nice as well. See, I know. I can see it both ways. I was doing some research yesterday, just looking at pictures and things. So it would be angled like this. Like I said, it does increase the cost, and I probably would go with a kind of a Hot Rails style, a blade style pickup. Then you don't have to worry about the pull pieces lining up with anything. I'm not against it whatsoever. And maybe I should. Like I said, I already feel like this build is going all out, for me anyway, because I mean, just with the design, yes, it's my existing body shape, but I've added contours and different things that just, the regular Dorian models don't have. I've never done a baritone multi-scale, so we're kind of going all out on that. The hardware is kind of out there. The bridge already is, kind of expensive. We're doing string through. I don't typically do string through. So maybe I should just angle them and then I don't have to worry about it. I feel like my gut tells me I should angle them, but then I just keep looking at the costs and I just need to do it probably, huh? Just go all in. You're already going all in. Go all the way in. Don't just dip your toe. Right? My throat. Sam says Jeff misses the occasional comments as he can't find his eyeglasses. Brits just say glasses. Americans need more details to know where they go. I don't call them eyeglasses. I call them spectacles. No, not really. I just call them glasses. And actually, I do have glasses. This is like my shop pair. Actually, now that you mentioned that, you reminded me. I got to get a hold of the eye doctor place. They were supposed to order me in a new set of glasses, and I haven't heard anything from them yet. So I need to find out what's going on. Usually they call and say, "Hey, your spectacles are here." No, but really, Sam, I scrolled up. I don't see Rick's comment. It's not here. I don't see one saying that. Yeah, it's literally not there on my end. So I'm sorry, Rick. I'm sorry. I didn't intentionally miss your comment. Authority on everything. So I've tried to build guitars. It's not easy. There's a lot of tools I don't have. Also, so I'll continue to augment guitars. Right on. Yeah. Yeah, it can be pretty involved. You're absolutely right. That's awesome that you jumped into it though and gave it a shot. Super cool. Yep. Sam Nunya says, "Can you make a guitar from any sort of wood?" I mean, in theory, yes. Is it recommended? Any species of wood? Probably not. But you could probably build one out of a lot more species than you might think. Really, there's a lot of opinions out there, right? On, oh, you have to use this certain wood and you have to do it this way and you have to, this species of wood is what you really want to use. And yeah, I don't really buy into all that necessarily. There are some rules that I definitely do try to follow. I shouldn't even say rules because, we're allowed to break the rules. But yeah, you can pretty much use about any species of wood, really. Now, do you want to use something super soft for something like a neck? No. So that would rule out things, certain softwoods and stuff like that. But overall, especially for the body, for an electric guitar, really, as long as your piece of wood is solid, and really, even then, there's epoxy and things that you can use to strengthen it up. You can use a lot more species than you might think, really. Some of the most early Fender guitars were made out of pine, literally just normal pine. So there, just don't use pine for your neck. You can use cedar, Western red cedar, Spanish cedar. Some of the more, maybe not Western red, maybe it's Spanish cedar I'm thinking of. There's certain cedars that are hard enough that you can use for a neck, and there may be other softwoods like that too. But overall, yeah, you can use almost any species of wood. Senpakin says, "You got to do whatever turns you crank." He says, "I like straight though. No worries." Right on, Rick. Thank you. Authority on everything says, "Cheap guitars. I would not mess up anything nice." Yeah, right on. Yeah, and there's a lot of cheap ones out there that are great for modding and practicing things. And honestly, that's the way to go. You're spot on with that. Rick says, "Would you use cedar for a top?" Yeah, I don't see why not. Use cedar for a top. Now, knowing cedar is softer, though, right? So that would make me think about what I'm using for a finish. Do I want to do just an oil type finish over top of cedar? Maybe. But if you do, you gotta think of things like, oh, is it going to be able to get banged, you know, uh, without denting it. And if I just do an oil finish over cedar, am I okay if it gets a dent? So you might want to consider using a little bit more of a protective type of finish. But it all depends on, kind of what you want to do. But yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. Sam Nunya says, can you use walnut? Yes. This run, when I do these first couple of these builds, I am planning on using walnut for the top. I have a piece of basswood that I want to use for the body of one with a walnut top, and then I think the other one is going to be mahogany because I have it with a walnut top. And maybe I'll do them both mahogany. I haven't quite decided yet. I almost think I might do that and save the basswood one for something else. But I think that's going to be the plan. They're definitely going to have a walnut top. I already have a piece of walnut milled down. I've got another piece of walnut that I need to get resawed. But yes, I'm going to use walnut for the tops on both of these builds. Walnut's great. Authority on Everything says, I really do like the design of your guitar, and baritone is awesome. Yes, thank you. So this is the design. This design is the Haley Guitars Dorian. I can't get this at the right angle where you can really see it. This is my Dorian model. Up until now, I haven't done a whole lot of the carves, different carves and shaping. I've just kind of kept it sort of, I don't know, standard. But this one, like I said, since I'm kind of going out there a little bit with some of the specs and design, I figured I'd add some more contouring and stuff like that. And also this one you can tell because I have the fret slots in there. This is a multi-scale baritone that it's going to be. I have built a baritone before, but not from scratch. So this is going to be a 28-inch scale length on the bass side, going down to a 26.5-inch scale length on the treble side. It's going to have blind fret slots, so that means that the fret slots don't go all the way to the end. And the fretboard markers, you can kind of see here, are also the side dot markers, which I really like. I've seen that before or something similar, but I decided to do that for this particular build. And what we're looking at are these test ones right here. This is the 12th fret. So you can see you got the 2, and then you can see it from the side. Except it's going to be opposite. It's going to have yeah, not ebony, rosewood fretboard with maple little deals here. So I actually already I've cut out all the maple markers right here. So kind of going all out. But yeah, I'm really, really stoked on this build. This has been a build that's in my head for a long time, and it's getting mighty close to coming into existence. Sam says, Americans say horseback riding. Was there a time when Americans were riding on the horse's head, the tail, or another peculiar way to say horse riding in the UK? Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why why do we say horseback riding? I don't know. It's a good question. Robert says, one guy built a guitar out of strip pieces of balsa wood. Did not work out well, and I would not recommend using it. That's, almost any of them. Paul says, you can use pine. Just put in a truss rod, 15 or 20 carbon fiber rods, soak it in cactus juice. True. Oh, I did let me set this down. I've started to get in materials. I've got the truss rods here. I've got carbon fiber rods here. I've already made sure everything fits. Of course, there's not one in this neck, but it's going to be right there. Well, you get the idea. Right there at the end. 2 carbon fiber rods. And it's going to be awesome. And I got a whole bunch of truss rods, a whole bunch of carbon fiber rods. I should get the rest of the hardware hopefully this week sometime. I don't know exactly when, but we're getting very close. Paul says, I sell several hundred pine bodies each year, plus red cedar bodies. Yeah, for bodies, perfect. Sam says, perhaps make a transparent plexiglass guitar. That one's already been done. They've already been done. They are kind of cool. Super heavy, but I do like them. Let's see. KPS says, hello, Jeff. Hope you're having a great evening. What's going on? Thank you. It's morning here where I am. Actually mid-morning or so, but thank you. I'm glad you're here. Right on. Sam Packin says, I'm thinking of a cedar top with an epoxy top coat. There you go. Epoxy top coat would give you the durability. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that whatsoever. Sam Packin said, you use a router to do the fret markers side dots. I like that. You're gonna say I cheated. CNC machine did that. This one, I designed it all for production on the CNC. So, kind of makes it rather simple. Rather simple. Because I have these are all at the same angle as the frets, right? So they follow the angle all the way down through, which you'd have to do some sort of a swing arm type of deal on a router to do that. I don't know how you do that by hand. Not saying it can't be done, but you totally could. You'd have to come up with a creative jig. So no, this one was all done on the machine. Robert says alder for the base of the guitar body would be good. Oh, alder. There was a couple other species I was trying to think of. Alder is one of them. Yeah, I like that. I can get alder locally. I think I like that better. Yeah, thanks, Robert. I knew there was another species or two I was trying to think of. I think I can get 6/4 alder. And that'll give me a little bit of meat to take down. So then I can put a 1/4-inch walnut top on it. Yeah, alder. I like that. Robert says I have a couple of body blanks in alder. It's pretty plain grained, so just plain looking, but light and smooth finish. Yes, alder. I like alder. Paul says, I thought it was called blind fret slots because they look like a blind guy might have done them. All crooked and such. Even worse, a microtonal fretboard. I don't want to think about that. No, those microtonals are horrible. Maybe not to play, but I mean, they just look like they look atrocious. I mean, this is different enough. I can't even imagine microtonal. I just can't. This one is going to be interesting enough to play. Mike Johnson's here. Says, geez, late again. Mike, better late than never, I think is what they say. Robert says, your voice seems to be sounding more normal as you've been talking. You know, Robert, that's interesting that you've noticed that on this, just here on the live, because that's kind of what it's been like for the last day or so. Like yesterday, I woke up in the morning and I was just like, oh, like barely had a voice. And then throughout the day, just it seems to get better and better. It seems like the more you work it, I don't know, it loosens up, or I don't know what happens. But yeah, interesting. Sam says, Americans, don't worry. You guys invented the tea bags that contain the tea leaves that we British drinks. Okay. Baked beans too. I love baked beans. Time Surfing says, almost missed you for a third week. Good to see you, Jeff. Right on. Good morning. Welcome. Glad you didn't miss us for a third week. Hope you're doing well. What have you been up to? Sam Packin said you missed Sam's and my comments. Which one? Oh, it just popped up. Rick, are you talking about Sam says Americans called a sidewalk as little direction as too many are dodging traffic, so they had to call it the sidewalk. Much safer that way. And Rick says, cheater, cheater. That is so weird, Rick. You're right. It popped up weird. How weird is that? That's interesting. I think it was just a timing thing. But yours from earlier was not there. It is in it, and I scrolled back a second ago, and it's still not. Let's see. Sam says, Jeff, you missed a joke. Yeah, the sidewalk. I don't know. Harry dude, what's up? Harry dude says, just got home. Just made it. Right on, Harry dude. Good morning. How are you doing? Time Service has been working on my triads and inversions. No projects. Aha, I like it. Triads and inversions. I need to learn more inversions, so I'm with you on that. I've just been working on fine-tuning a few things. Now that Harry Dude and Time Surfing are here as well, I want to throw that out again about the pickups that we were talking about earlier. See, guys, I'm very, very close to actually putting a real piece of wood in and actually making this guitar happen. But there's one question, and I've already gotten some great feedback from everybody else, but I want to throw it out there to you. Since this is going to be multi-scale, the bridge is going to be mounted at an angle. If you look online, there are some multi-scale guitars with the angled bridge that have regular pickups straight across. But there's also a bunch of them that have the pickups at an angle. I want feedback as to what you think this should be. My argument for keeping them straight across is the pickups are cheaper. I can just use regular 6-string pickups. If I angle them, pickups are more expensive because if I do a blade style pickup, I have to go with a 7-string set and they're just more costly. But I'm also saying I feel like I'm kind of going all out, like with the hardware and the design and everything. So I feel like I should go all out. But I want to know what you guys think. I'm okay either way. But I want to know from you guys, what do you think? You guys are helping me make these final decisions. Regular 6-string pickups, or do I angle them? I'm almost saying angle them, even though it's going to cost more money. But I want to know what you think. Let's see. Harry Dude says, you probably already discussed it, but do I see fancy inlays for side markings on the neck? I think you do, Harry Dude. Yeah. So this one right here is one that I cut out yesterday. I made a couple of changes to that from that neck that was just on that body, and I cut this one out. I had to make this heel section a little bit longer because I just needed better access with an Allen wrench. But so what I have here, I'm going to cover my face so it focuses better. So these are not filled, or these pockets aren't filled. Oh, stop. Why is it scrolling all over there? Hey, stay. Stop tracking for a second. There we go. So this is what I'm going to do. There's a little blemish on that one. That was because I whacked it with a hammer trying to tap it in. But I'm going to do this, which is your top, your fretboard markers, but then on the side, bam, look at that. There's your side dots. So that's what I'm going to do for this, except it's going to be a rosewood board. Or should I do Richlight? I've got a couple Richlight fretboards. Maybe I should go with that. I like just go all kinds of crazy with it. I could do Richlight with, no, I think maybe rosewood. Rosewood and maple. So it's going to be dark light instead of light dark like this. But I've already got the maple inlays already cut out to go right in there. So that's the plan. Sam Packin says, celebrate your day, everyone. And you too, Jeff. Got a doctor's appointment. Right on, Rick. I didn't miss that one. Thanks for tuning in, and sorry about the weird comment thing going on. But hope you have a great day. Time Surfing says angled pickups would go with the theme better. That's the way I keep nudging towards. Sam says Americans say lumber. This makes sense. Can't get lumber, but you can get. Oh, I understand now, Sam. You're bad, Sam. Bad. No. Robert says, just check the price difference of the two types of pickups. If the price is too drastic, then go with the straight pickups. See, that's what I'm saying. Cyclops Guitar says, no rich light, rosewood. Yeah. I've got a couple pieces of rich light because I wanted to try it, but I haven't used it yet. Basically for the same reason yet that I know you're going with. I like rosewood so much better. But I have a buddy who uses rich light for a lot of things, and it looks fine. It really does. I just haven't used it yet, so we'll stick with rosewood. Tony! Tony says, morning sunshine. Good morning, Tony. How are you doing? Sam, LOL. Paul says, got to get back to work. Have a great week, everyone. Jeff, wood, not plastic for fingerboards. Yes, see, that's part of the reason I haven't used it yet. I wanted to try it, but you got to glue it with like epoxy and stuff, and I just don't think I want to go that route. Harry Dude says, check out Ormsby in Australia. They make pickups designed for multi-scale where the humbucker bobbins are slightly offset. Yes, I've seen those too. Bare Knuckle in the UK also can do angled ones. And that's what I was initially going to look at. Man, they're so expensive. I love their pickups. They're probably one of my favorites. But man, they're expensive. So I'm trying to keep cost in mind. Because I'm building two of these. So like it's like over $300 a set if I get the bare knuckles. So I'll check out the Ormsby and see what they have. But I'm thinking I might just go with like some Duncan blades, 7-string type blade pickups, and then you can put them in at an angle. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Time Surfing says rosewood has my vote. It's got my vote too. Ken says rosewood and epoxy color inlays. Ooh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, that would be pretty neat. Huh. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. I was going to do rosewood with maple. But epoxy might be neat too. I don't have any at the moment. But yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Yeah, thanks for that idea. Time Surfing says, yes, epoxy inlay. Robert says, I thought bare knuckles were done in Chicago. No, they are made in the UK. As far as I know. Unless they've started making some over here, I don't think so. I could be wrong on that though. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure they're from the UK. Sam, you might know. Sam says you can make a mini bar with matching stools. Harry Dude says, I don't know rich light. Is it close to black? Yes, it is. It's very close. It almost looks like ebony, but it is a engineered material. It's not real wood. Ken says Amazon has a lot of epoxy. Yes. Yeah, I would just have to get some. Yeah, I hadn't thought about the epoxy. That'd be kind of cool. Like a white or something. I was trying to keep it all wood. But that's not a bad idea. Let me think about that one a little bit. Yeah, it's easy to get, Kent. I got you. I'm with you. We're on the same page. Yeah, I like that idea. I've got some pigments, I think. Kent says I use Promise and mica powders. Oh, Promise. Gotcha. Yeah, I have some. That's what I was looking at to see what I have for mica powder. That's up. It's like on a shelf just above the computer here. I got like some blue. I don't know where the rest is. Where's the rest of it? I don't know. I'd have to find it. I've got some around here. I heard it says, seeing how you're doing all new things with these guitars, why not go with a rich light and aluminium inlays for something different? That would be interesting. Man, that sounds like a nightmare to try to glue, but yeah. Part of me wants to keep it wood though. I don't know. I was just throwing it out there to kind of see, but we'll see what happens on that. Robert says, just checked where bare knuckle is made, and says, you're right, they're made in the UK. Whew. Sam says you could try making it the laser guitar I mentioned a while ago. Laser light is strings rather than physical strings. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I saw a video just in the last couple of days. Some dude made a guitar where and maybe you guys have seen it, where instead of the strings being attached to a physical bridge, they're on like a magnet, and like two really strong magnets. So the whole entire bridge is floating and held in place by magnetic tension. And like he actually sort of got it to work. It's really strange and interesting, but it was kind of an interesting video. Time Serpent says I made some volume and tone knobs with epoxy. Turned out really nice. That's cool. That's cool. Kent says I saw that and he almost lost his hand. Yes. Could you imagine if those two large ones would have crunched in on his hand? Man. Isn't that weird how the YouTube algorithms work? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like you have no control over what gets shown, and stuff like that just pops up for people. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty interesting. Anyway, so where we're at right now with the build is I'm waiting for the bridge. Like I mentioned earlier, I got notification that everything's shipped. Once the bridge gets here, I need to verify some measurements. Then I need to cut out one more body, probably with the angled pickup cavities. And then, yeah, it's off to the races, as they say. Hopefully this week, maybe I'll start gluing up the blanks, body blanks and stuff. But we're getting pretty close. Pretty close. I heard it says, saw the thumbnail for it and thought of Colin Furze and his magnet suspension bike. Yeah, kind of the same. I didn't see that Colin Furze video, but I know which one you're talking about. Ken says, BYOG, Blizzard of 59 are $89 for a set and are absolutely my favorite pickups. Better than expensive ones. Really? Interesting. I'll have to look at that. Interesting. That's good to know. Are they a hot pickup? I'm guessing it's more of like a modeled after the Seymour Duncan. Is it a 50? Is that a 59? That they usually pair with the JB and the, or is it a 57? Whatever that is. Robert says, I've seen that video pop up, but did not watch the video. Hey dude says, get some single coils and offset them yourself. Wire them in series for humbucker effect. Ooh, there's an idea. Kent says, oh, it's a PAF Gibson clone. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's kind of, I mean, really, that's about the last decision that I really have to make. I mean, it's probably one I should have made a long time ago, but really I didn't think about it until it came time to start really ordering in the hardware for this build. But yeah, we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out. Sam says, try making the world's smallest playable electric guitar. That'd be interesting. Canyon Road Guitars, you need to do another acoustic guitar build series. Yes, I agree with you. And I've got materials to do that. I want to build this one first. But yes, I want to build another acoustic. I do. I don't know what that would be. I've got the mold and everything for the OM style. Actually, I guess technically mine is a 000 because of the scale length, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree with you. I need to do another acoustic. I don't know what I would do different, if I would just build another one or if I would do something different. I do want to build an 8-string baritone. Ooh, baritone. Hmm. Maybe I'll be the baritone guy. Yeah. So there's a style of 6-string out there that has the D and the G string are doubled up as a pair, like a 12-string is, but it's only on those two, and it sounds so incredible to me. I love the sound of a baritone, and I love the sound of a 12-string, and you combine somewhat the 12-string with a baritone, it sounds awesome. I really want to build one of those, but I don't know. Yeah, I need to do another acoustic. I just know that once I get into that, it's a long process, and I'm going to be working on that for quite some time, which is totally fine. But I need to get this one done, because this one's going to be a shorter series, but it's still going to be a fair bit of work. Then I got a few other things that I need to do, but yeah, we do need to get into an acoustic. I agree with you. Harry Dude says Ormsby has pickups for $129, probably cheaper if you convert to USD. I'll go look at them. I'll go check them out. Right on. Thanks for that suggestion. I know they're guitars, but I guess I never really looked to see if they sold, pickups and things separate. Canyon Road says, I have one of those, but I've never built one. Oh, you have one of the 8-string baritones? Oh, man. That's cool. Yeah, I've never built one either. That's kind of why I want to. I feel like I'm kind of at the point where most of the guitars that I want, I can't go buy, right? I can't go and buy this in a store. I can't go buy, well, maybe somebody makes one because I'm a lefty, right? I can't go buy a multi-scale baritone left-handed guitar. So I have to build these, which is kind of, if you saw the video that I did 2 weeks ago, it's kind of how I started doing what I'm doing anyway. And that's the same with the 8-string baritone. Like I can't find one, so I got to build it. Robert says, I think maybe that the big increase in prices for things coming from the UK, some other places, is because of the tariffs in place. Oh, it could be. It could be. Sam says, Jeff likes the roar of a baritone. I do. A baritone roar. I see what you did there. Autocorrect sucks again. Time Serpent said, did you see anything from NAMM? No, I have not. Shark Guitars is bringing the guitar into the computer age. Should check them out. Interesting. I'll have a look. Yeah, I don't follow NAMM too much, honestly. I don't know why. I probably should, but I don't. Sam says you can make a custom valve amp. That would be interesting. I'd probably electrocute myself on some sort of transformer, and that would be it. Robin, how about a resonator? Robin, I would be all for a resonator. Yes, I love the sound of that too. What about a resonator baritone 8-string? Wow, mind blown. That would be actually really cool though. Yeah, so maybe I should start making plans for another acoustic build. Very, very preliminary plans later this year. Canyon Road says, now you're talking. Yeah, I can't even wrap my head around that yet. There'd be a lot that would have to go into that. I've already spent a fair bit of time trying to figure out what I would need to change. I mean, if anything, other than scale length. to make the 8-string baritone actually work. Bracing, what would I need to modify? What, what I'm saying? Trying to change all that. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to I'm going to have to draw it out, at least some of it in CAD, to get an idea of lengths of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I know I would have to shift probably the fret that joins the body. But yeah, I don't know. I got to get through this one first. I got to figure out this pickup situation and get on with it. So I can't believe we're already into February. I thought I was going to be starting on this, I don't know, a week or two ago, but I keep finding another thing that I got to work through. Sam, perhaps a wireless electric guitar with a built-in wireless. That'd be kind of neat. But I already have a wireless pack. But Robert says gonna make some chili for the meal today, most likely for a few days as well. Have the right kind of weather for it. Yeah, chili. Love chili. Oh man, I should make a big old pot of green chili. Who likes green chili? Hit that thumbs up button. Anyway, guys, I think it's about time to wrap this up. I need to get back to work, get some stuff done. We're getting very close, like I mentioned early on. Kind of taking January. I was planned-ish to be light on videos because mainly I'm focusing on trying to get this design done, but it's getting very close. We're going to get back to it here in the month of February. It's actually been kind of nice. I haven't been stressing out trying to get a video out, get a video done, and just kind of been able to work on stuff and kind of get things finalized. So, but don't worry, we're gonna get right back to it with some more video projects. Plus, January just kind of feels like a time to be able to take a not necessarily a break, but to let off the gas just a little bit in preparation for the year ahead, if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you guys, thanks a lot for hanging out. I'm gonna get back to work. Sam says thanks for the fantastic stream today. You legend. Right on. Canyon Road says, love your channel, Jeff. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. I really do. Sam says, be safe, everyone. Robert says, everyone have a great day and week and so on and so forth. Stay safe and healthy. Harry Dude says, catch you all next week. Stay well, everyone. Right on, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm going to get out of here. Sam says, gas in a vehicle. What? Gas in a vehicle? I don't understand. You lost me, Sam. Sorry. You guys, thanks so much. I'm going to get out of here. Go look at pickups. Get this build done. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Have a great week. Hope you get to go build some cool stuff. And we'll talk to you next week right here at Home Built Workshop. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, all the things. Share it with your friends, family, neighbors. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody. We're out of here.